And welcome to Behind the Spires. I'm Ed, and this is...
Hi guys, I'm Molly, and we are your friendly neighborhood city employees.
Yes, come join us behind the Spires, where we will bring the business of Frederick forward, highlighting updates on Frederick's projects, policies, and events.
Each week, we bring a special guest behind the Spires to introduce you to the people who help shape life here in the city of Frederick. Today, we're joined by two people, Erin and Cullen, from the city's water quality department. We'll talk about what it takes to keep Frederick's water safe, what's in your tap, and why your drinking water is probably better than you think.
Oh, it's probably pretty good.
Yeah.
I drink tap water.
Yeah.
If you're not watching us on video, you can catch our lovely mugs on YouTube at City of Frederick, Maryland. Of course, you can also listen to us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, all the podcasting services.
Yes. And now, our interview with Erin and Cullen right after this commercial break.
Big changes are coming to street parking in downtown Frederick. The City of Frederick's parking department will begin phasing out all physical parking meters and, in their place, a modern solution for the digital age. Park Mobile will exclusively handle the digital payment system to help make paying for street parking simple and convenient right from your mobile phone. No coins, no meters, just tap, pay, and park. There are 4 ways you can pay for street parking in Frederick. Download and use the Park Mobile app on Apple or Android. Scan the QR code posted near your spot. Text PARK, that's park, to 77223. Call the phone number that's listed on the Park Mobile sign. No smartphone? No problem. Most street parking spots will provide a maximum of 2 hours for parking. Any vehicle with handicap tags or a placard may park for free for twice the time in that zone. So, if you're in a 2-hour zone, that's 4 hours of free parking. Prefer paying with cash? No problem. Just swing by one of downtown Frederick's 5 parking garages. They've got you covered. Literally. Planning ahead for a day out in downtown? Be sure to also download the Park Frederick app to see which city garage has available parking on any given day. Street parking is free after 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday and free all day Sunday. Park Mobile, a smarter way to park. For more information, visit cityoffrederickmd.gov/parking.
And welcome back.
Welcome back, you guys. We have 2 very special guests with us today. First time on Behind the Spires, hopefully not last time, we have Erin and Cullen from the Water Quality Department. Welcome, you guys. For those who don't know you yet, can you give us a little bit of background about yourselves?
Yes, so my name is Erin Signorella. I'm the supervisor of the Water Quality Department for the City of Frederick. I've been with the city for a little over 10 years now.
10 years?
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness.
It's been a while.
Wow.
Not close.
No.
I started as a lab tech in the water quality lab and then was able to work my way up the ladder of our 4-person department. Yeah.
I love that. And Cullen, what about you?
I'm assistant supervisor of the water quality department. Something about what we do. We test the wastewater and the drinking water to make sure it's compliant with state and federal regulations. So I tend to focus more on the operations side, making sure those tests are compliant and meeting scientific rigor.
Well, how did you both end up working in water quality? Is it something that you guys have always had interest in? Cullen, you start.
Sure, yeah. I started sort of always chemistry focused, but agronomy, so nutrient dynamics in farms. And that transferred really well to our wastewater testing because with wastewater, it's those nutrients are pollutants now. And I'm a Frederick native, lived here my whole life, so always felt at home.
Nice.
So things that are good on a farm are not good in our drinking water.
True.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. I always had an interest in water quality and water conservation. I have a master's degree in environmental science and management, in my last year of school, I had an internship at a water quality lab that's similar to our lab, but much bigger. They do contract testing for municipalities like the city of Frederick or smaller locations that don't have their own water lab. And I really enjoyed it. And they offered me a full-time position when I graduated. And then we moved to the DMV area, and I found a job posting for a lab tech for the city of Frederick, and I've been here ever since.
10 years later, she's still
10
here.
years.
Still here.
So some residents may not think much about where their water comes from and how it gets to their tap. If you have watched the Magic School Bus episode, you might be interested in it like I was as a child.
I mean, who hasn't?
I mean, come on, Miss Frizzle. Can you guys, you've started to talk about this, but can you walk us through what the water quality department does?
Yeah, so we are located at the wastewater treatment plant. We test wastewater and drinking water. The wastewater we test for process control so that the operators know how the plant is operating at each step of the process, of the treatment process. We also test it for permit compliance. Since our effluent is being discharged into the Monocacy River, we have strict limits that we have to meet on what can be discharged into. So we perform the testing so that the operators know how the plant is working. For drinking water, we do field sampling throughout the city, throughout the distribution system, to make sure that the water quality is maintaining that quality in the system that it had when it left the plant. So we go out roughly 3 days a week and perform sampling throughout the distribution system. We have sample stations throughout the city. They're spigots inside of a small green metal case. You'll probably see them. Once you see one, you'll see them everywhere. But we collect samples from there, so we don't have to go into people's homes whenever we do this sampling. And we are just a small part of the process of delivering safe drinking water from the source to people's taps.
Right.
The water treatment plants, they're doing the brunt of the work. The operator, there's a lot of operations that go on there. There's a lot of maintenance that goes on to get it to the point where the water is safe to drink leaving the plant. We do the monitoring throughout the distribution system to make sure it maintains that safety. And then to the distribution team, they're out there flushing fire hydrants to keep the water fresh throughout the system. They're fixing line breaks. Even when it's below freezing out there, they're down there fixing those line
Good
breaks.
grief.
They're doing the hard work.
And plowing snow at the same time.
Yeah, so we're one small part of a pretty complicated operation.
But I think of you guys as like, do you have badges, like water quality badges, like you're around town?
Not yet.
That is
Like the FBI or something?
That's what I'm getting at. I'm feeling the site visits are like pretty cool.
Now, is there a part of the job that might surprise people if they knew about it?
People get surprised that we do field sampling throughout the distribution system. Sometimes they'll say, like, oh, I thought you just did the testing from the water plants. And there's a lot of testing that goes on at the water plants, but we have to make sure that the water that's actually being delivered to the people's homes is safe as well.
Right. And so you talked about compliance a little bit, and you have to meet certain standards with EPA and all of that. What does that process look like? Like, how often are you testing? What are you testing?
Yeah, it all depends on what we're testing for, because a lot of it we have to contract out. We don't do it in-house. And so we're on like a sampling schedule. Sometimes it's quarterly, sometimes it's every 6 months, sometimes it's every 3 years. It all depends on what the state tells us to do.
Yeah, it depends on the analyte as well. Some analytes, like bacteria, for the total coliform rule, that testing is based off of population. So the higher the population, the more testing you have to do. Other analytes, like lead, for the lead and copper rule, that can be like concentration-based testing frequency. The lower your limits, the less frequent you have to test. So due to the overall levels of lead in Frederick drinking water, we only have to test every 3 years.
Oh.
So
analyte is something that is in the water. What's
Yeah.
the definition of analyte?
It's what we're testing.
Oh.
it's what we're
Okay.
analyte, compound, contaminant. We
Similar.
kind of use them interchangeably.
Okay.
You got to break it down. We just drink water?
Also, we do watch the Magic School Bus, but
Yeah.
yeah. Influent is water that is coming in. Affluent is going out, like you mentioned, to Monocacy.
Correct.
Okay, good. We have a definition.
We're learning.
What would you guys consider the most common complaints or like investigations requests that you get? And are they usually something that people have to worry about?
Yeah, so I'd say the biggest one, especially like as we're getting into the summer months, is just like taste and odor. which are usually not issues. A lot of the time, it is drain odors. It's actually what's coming out of your pipe in the drain that you're smelling, not the water itself.
That makes sense.
There are things in the water that can affect taste and odor, and there are things we can do to tweak it. So we will go and visit people's homes and just to make sure there's nothing going on. That's the big one.
Yeah. Taste and odor and appearance. Maybe whenever there's a line break, it'll stir up some sediment that has settled in the piping system. So you might get discolored water if that happens. It's not a health concern. It's not a problem if you ingest it. It's not pretty to look at.
Right. That's probably why you get a complaint right away. You're just like, whoa. Yeah.
Yeah. So usually when that happens, if someone calls us, distribution will go out and they'll flush a fire hydrant to bring fresh water to that area. I will say, though, that if anyone does receive discolored water, they should not turn on their hot water. They should not use their hot water because then that'll pool that dirty water into their hot water tank, and it'll take much longer for it to flush out of their home system. They may end up even having to drain the water tank completely.
Oh, that is a good tip.
Yeah,
I've
that's
never
very
heard
good
that
tip.
before.
So cold water only if you're getting discolored water.
Okay.
Yeah, look at the camera. Cold water
Cold
only.
water only,
Yes,
please.
we did it. Okay, what about, so you said in the summer months you get more about taste and odor. Like, why is that? What happens in the summer months?
The bacteria that are
Okay.
naturally occurring
In the source water.
In the source water, yes, thank you. They are more active, and so
Okay.
they're going to be creating these other compounds that you'll notice.
And more organics present in the source water.
Yeah, because those are now, plants are, all that stuff is going through.
Okay. So we hear a lot about forever chemicals, PFAS, in the news. I feel like a lot on Facebook, a lot. Can you explain what they are in plain terms, and where does Frederick stand when it comes to these type of contaminants?
Yeah. So they're a man-made chemical. They have a lot of convenient uses. They're in firefighting foams. They're in waterproof materials. They're in stain-resistant materials. They're in microwave popcorn bags. They're in cosmetics. They're in nonstick pans.
Oh, Erin's ruining my life right now
Sorry.
when you said microwave popcorn.
I am a non
Clothes, yeah.
I must be a PFAS at this point
Yeah,
myself.
exactly.
It's in your couch.
In your couch,
Yeah.
in your popcorn. Okay.
Yeah, they're very prevalent. They are very stable, so they don't break down over time. They keep accumulating in the environment. They can accumulate in the human body. They have been found to have negative health consequences. So there was a national primary drinking water regulation that was finalized to limit the amount of PFAS allowed in drinking water. When those new regulations come through, they give a pretty broad stretch of time to allow municipalities and water utilities enough time to make any treatment adjustments to be able to meet that compliance number before the compliance date starts. So the compliance date is 2029, I think, and we are already meeting the compliance numbers.
Hey, good job,
Nice.
Frederick.
Yes. Yeah, we're very lucky that we have our source waters are under low influence of industries that may be discharging PFAS into our source waters. So we are already meeting compliance. That doesn't mean that we're done trying to treat it, to remove it completely. There are some detections. The Linganore water treatment plant is in the very early stages of being rebuilt from the ground up, and that new treatment plant should be able to better treat for PFAS in the water.
Okay. And so is it normally from like industry, like influent from industries and businesses that you get?
Yeah, it's man-made, but it's definitely like in like your lint traps in your dryer. It's there's going to be household exposures.
Yeah, and water is just one source of exposure.
Yeah.
So if someone's concerned about it in water, they can get a filter that's certified to remove PFAS from drinking water. If they do go for a filter, I will say they should make sure that it's NSF or ANSI certified. That is an independent certifying body that confirms, yes, this filter removes exactly what it says it does.
Okay.
If it doesn't have that certification, you're not really guaranteed that the filter is going to work as it says it will.
Yeah, you could be getting swindled
Mm-hmm.
buying a filter for just filter's sake.
Right. So no coffee filters. That's not going to work.
No, that's not going
It's not
to
gonna
remove much. Yeah, so typically the low end priced filters aren't going to remove what they say they will. The higher end price filters are probably going to be overkill. It's more than what you need, and you're going to spend more money than what you should.
Okay.
But do look for that NSF or ANSI certification on a filter.
Hey, she's great with the camera. One other thing I wanted to ask about is lead in drinking water and people concerned about that in their service lines.
Yeah, so we do test on a triennial basis just since our overall levels in the city are so low. However, there were revisions and improvements to the lead and copper rule under the Safe Drinking Water Act, and part of that requires municipalities to create a lead service line inventory. So we have to identify the material of each service line in the public side of the distribution system and on the private side. So everyone should have gotten, probably a few years ago at this point, a survey that asked residents to identify the material of the water service line entering their home. The survey will have questions saying like, if you scratch it, does it leave a mark? Is it magnetic? Will a magnet stick to it? And that will help us identify the private portions of these service lines so that we can complete this inventory and identify where all the lead service lines are so that we can replace them. So part of that, everyone is going to be sent annually, usually these letters go out in December, service line material identification letter. It's going to tell residents the material identification of the private service line servicing their home and the public side of the service line servicing their home. It's either going to be identified as lead, non-lead, galvanized requiring replacement, or unknown. Since we're in the early stages of completing this inventory, a lot of them are going to be unknown. But these letters, they will identify the material of your service line. If someone is concerned about exposure to lead or potential exposure to lead, it will have steps to take that they can hopefully reduce their potential exposure to lead. It also has a link to a list of labs that are certified to test for lead in drinking water for the state of Maryland. We are not on it because we don't have the capability to test for lead in-house. But this letter is not meant to be a statement of overall water quality. It's just a statement of the material of your service line.
How long is it going to take to complete that inventory?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because I feel like, because you're asking people to, how are you getting all that information? It's self-reported from people?
Self-reported, yeah.
Okay.
So
That's a big factor, but they are also using modeling based on if one person in your neighborhood has identified it, they can say generally.
The age of home.
Age of home, I was going to say, because newer developments, you don't have to worry about that at all.
Yeah.
Right?
And then we will have 10 years to replace all the lead service lines. So I think by 2037.
I think that's,
Yeah.
Okay. So if you get that letter, it's not saying don't drink your water.
It's not saying don't drink your water. Yes,
Got it.
we have had some people call saying that they haven't used their water in months since receiving that letter. And it's please use your water.
Yeah, we add a corrosion inhibitor. So even if you do have lead service lines, you should be protected. That is, can prevent corrosion of the pipe material.
If anyone has questions or concerns about the letter or about like lead in general, they can call the city, call the water quality department. We'll talk them through it.
Perfect.
Now, does the survey information that you get back, and does that go at all into the consumer confidence report? Or if people don't know what that is, could you maybe talk a little more about that specifically?
Yeah, so the results of the survey won't go into the consumer confidence report. Engineering is handling that inventory, so that'll go to them. That'll help them complete this inventory. The consumer confidence report, though, that's our annual water quality report. It's going to have a summary of the previous year's data. So everything that was tested for and detected is going to show up in that water quality report. We do make it available. Let's see, what else do we need to add about
How do
that?
you interpret it for us mere mortals who just learned what influence means?
So there is going to be a little description at the bottom of the main ones, but it is complicated. It does take a little bit of literacy to understand what you're reading.
There is a list of definitions in there. And we are going to be releasing our report for this year is not available yet. Hopefully it'll be available by the end of this month. But it's going to be a brand new report compared to the reports in the previous years. Hopefully it'll be a little more user-friendly, and it's going to be maybe a little more eye-catching. So when people see it, they'll say, that's something I want to read.
Yeah,
so
look at all those
they'll
good
crack
pictures
it
of
open.
water. Okay, that's awesome. And maybe we can talk about that too, like helping interpret
Oh,
for
sure.
public education.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tick in that.
Yeah, because units are a big factor. So like some things will be reported in parts per million, which is parts per million. What's that equivalent to?
Milligrams per liter?
Yeah, but I'm thinking like so like parts per trillion they say is like 1 second in 32,000 years. One parts per billion is 1 drop in an Olympic-sized swimming pool, and like parts per million, I think it's maybe like a 10-gallon fish tank. So you're going to see different levels.
Right.
It'll be, yeah, you might see like one's 4, but that's in parts per trillion, so it's going to be significantly less.
Right, like that's not like a bad number to
Yeah.
have when we're
No.
looking at like a star in the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Units matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Is there a number or result in the report that you think tells the most important story about Frederick's water?
I think they're all pretty equally important. And I hope it shows, or I think it shows that it's a little more complicated to treat drinking water than just like, we're not just running it through a single filter to get it from the river to people's taps. There's a lot that goes into it. And we're not treating down to these maximum limits and then stopping. We're treating the water to the best of our ability with the technology we currently have in place. That doesn't mean that we're not trying to continue to improve. As I mentioned before, the Linganore water treatment plant, that's going to be rebuilt with new treatment methods. There's constantly new chemicals coming onto the market that the water treatment plants trial out every now and then. There's one part in the report, disinfection byproducts. It's exactly what it says. It's a byproducts of the disinfection process. So when chlorine reacts with organic compounds in the water, it forms these disinfection byproducts. It's listed in the report as total trihalomethanes and haloacetic acids. Now, we are in compliance with the limits. We don't have any violations. However, those compounds seem to trend mid-range to the higher end of the range. But the new water treatment plant at Linganore should be able to help reduce those compounds. New chemicals coming onto the market can help better coagulate the organics out of the water before it meets the chlorine, so that chlorine has less contact with organics, so there'd be less byproduct formation.
Mhm.
So we're constantly trying to keep improving.
You guys are amazing.
Yes.
Okay, let's bring it back down from the heady science. What would you say is your favorite part of your job? Is it
Oh,
the
man.
site visits, and is it the future
it is.
badges that you're going to be having?
Yes, it's the
Ooh,
badges.
yeah. Yeah, I think it is the site visits. Because, yeah, that's when you get out and really get to talk to people. Because there are a lot of people, usually when they're calling you, they have a concern. And it's nice to sort of help assuage those. Because, yeah, I mean, it's really important. And people trust us with their water. And, like, water is just like, it's a symbol, I don't know, of health. It's an important thing for people.
Yeah. Whenever I'm out doing field sampling, sometimes people will pass by and ask what I'm doing, and I'll tell them. And adults are usually surprised, and they'll say, "Oh, I didn't know you did that. Thank you." If a kid comes by and asks what I'm doing, though, I'll tell them, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." And I'm like, "Heck yeah, it is. Take lots of science classes."
Oh my gosh, yes. You're like, are you interested in an internship?
Right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, I like it when that happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes they want to play in the water.
You're like, oh no.
Come on.
You guys are going to both be at the April 18th Earth Day event. Can you guys tell us about it and what residents can expect at this event?
Yeah, we should have information. We might have some lab equipment. We're going to have stickers that Molly created for us. They're awesome stickers. They're going to have a QR code that links directly to our water quality report, so people can slap that on their water bottle, and it'll always update with the most recent water quality report. We may have water balloons that kids can throw at a target.
Who will that
Ooh.
target be? Will it be a person?
No, it won't.
Oh.
It'll be Cullen.
That would be fantastic.
No, so in honor of us hitting all of the regulatory targets under the Safe Drinking Water Act. We have a physical target made, and it says we're hitting our targets. Can you? And so then you have to hit the target with a water balloon.
Smart.
You're going to be there. I'm going to be
yes.
at a different event, the marker dedication, but
Yes.
Ed's going to be there.
And the water balloons are filled with genuine City of Frederick water.
Oh my God, it's the best internationally, actually.
Speaking of, I am going to be there. I'm going to be running the USA 250 booth, so come and
Yes.
see me. I
Yes.
might be in a fun outfit. Bring a water balloon. I might be hot.
Yeah, you guys, we'll get testimonials from you guys. We were doing that a lot with the semi-quincentennial, and so we're getting video testimony of what do you want to see in Frederick over the next 150 years, so we can get your guys' feedback on Earth Day.
Yes.
Okay.
And you can do some water ballooning.
Yeah.
Okay, let's end before we go into the quick round. What is one thing that you wish more Frederick residents knew about water?
You want to go first?
Oh man, that's a tough question though. I guess it's a limited resource. We got to protect it.
That's true.
Yeah. Make sure you're mindful. Let's when you're brushing your teeth, maybe turn off the faucet.
Yeah,
Things like that.
that's right.
Anywhere
that.
to save water. Yeah.
Conservation.
Yeah, just the little steps.
I wish they knew that there was no contamination from Fort Detrick into our drinking water.
So true.
Yeah, we hear a lot of people that have that concern. I will say we don't have groundwater as our source water. Our source water is surface water. It is not located near Detrick Site B. That is the area of concern. And there is no contamination from that site into the distribution system. We would be seeing that with bacteria samples or with turbidity, and we're not seeing that. So there's no influence from Fort Detrick.
Influence.
Good.
Those are two great things for people to know about water. We're so happy you came. We have two water heroes, local water heroes. We've heard that you've been sought after from, you were headhunted specifically for the city of Frederick. You're hitting every single target. Like, we have the best in the biz here, so we're happy that you came and you shared your knowledge with us. Before we leave, we do have some quick round trivia questions.
Yes.
No hot sauce.
And
Oh.
No hot sauce.
No hot sauce.
Not,
Oh
yeah,
my
not
God.
season 2.
Show Erin
Why
up here.
did we come?
it's like, that's correct. Why did they come if not for the hot sauce? Do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start us out.
I want answers from both.
Ooh, okay. So I'm going to read the question,
These
or
are-
we're going to read the question.
These are opinions. Okay.
Okay.
And you're just going to try to answer them fast as you can.
Fast as you
Oh
can.
my.
All right, ready? Best kept secret in Frederick that you think deserves more attention.
The water.
Tap water.
She beat me to it.
That's what I was gonna say.
Okay. If it's both the same, tap water.
Yeah, tap water.
Okay, great. Okay, ready? One Frederick event or tradition you never miss each year.
In the streets.
Right.
That's a good one.
Good answer.
First day.
I was like, someone's got to say Earth Day. Okay.
If a visitor had just one day in Frederick, where would you send them first?
Downtown.
I'd say Gambrel. I mean, I guess yeah. It's a little bit outside of Frederick,
Okay.
but yeah, get that overlook experience. It's nice.
I love
It
it.
is nice.
Okay, no one was going to say the wastewater treatment plant? Interesting.
If people want to come,
Yeah.
we hardly get visitors.
That would really be a mispressal
I also didn't hear
situation.
City Hall.
Oh, that's okay. They're
That's
up
true.
in the attic with us today and they love it. You guys, thank you so much for being with us today. They're going to be at Earth Day on Frederick 18th, April 18th in Baker Park. So you guys got to go check it out there.
Yes.
And we will be right back.
Here's the City of Frederick's Manager of Sustainability, Jenny Willoughby, with a water conservation tip.
Reduce or eliminate your lawn. This is a great way to reduce your water use outside by taking out the amount of lawn that you need to water and that you need to mow.
This April, join the National Mayor's Challenge for Water Conservation. Take the pledge today at mywaterpledge.com.
And welcome back. Would you consider these two water sommeliers?
Ooh, I like that a lot. Yeah, I would consider them. They're detectives. They're sommeliers. I can't say that word.
Sommeliers?
There you go. You're much more classy than me. So, guys, that was Erin and Cullen from the city's water quality department. And it's so easy to take clean drinking water for granted until you hear about all the work that goes into making sure it happens every day.
Of course. And I think what stood out to me is just how much that happens behind the scenes.
Right.
We turn on the tap and it's just there. But there's a whole team making sure it's safe, it's delicious, and, you use it for everything.
That's right. Exactly. And if you guys want to dig in deeper to the data yourself, don't forget about the Consumer Confidence Report that should be out this month. It's the annual snapshot of what's in Frederick's water, and it is available on the city's website or on one of those stickers that they will be handing out on
Earth Day.
Yes, that's right.
And if you missed it in the interview, the water quality team will be at Earth Day, April 18th. It's a great chance to meet them in person or me, ask questions, and learn more about what Frederick is doing to protect its water supply. I won't have those answers. I'll be at the USA 250 booth trying to get you to be on video, but you can ask them about the water.
That's correct. Ask the sommelier.
Sommelier.
There you go. And while you're out on April 18th for Earth Day, don't forget about the city's free cycle roundup. It's happening on the exact same day. Drop off furniture, appliances, bikes, mattresses, and more at Public Works Complex at 111 Airport Drive from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's free. It keeps all the good stuff out of the landfill, and city residents can even get documents shredded on site.
Nice.
Just bring your proof of residency.
And as a reminder, city council meetings and work sessions are open to the public. You can attend in person or watch online. Head to the city's public meetings page for agendas, videos, and media materials. And check out frederickmd.gov/FY27 budget to stay updated on all budget season meetings.
That's right. It is budget season after all. And if you... Budget season.
Duck season.
All right, Bugs Bunny. And if you don't have time for a full meeting, Behind the Spires now has a short news update format, quick briefings on what's happening around the city, new projects, major decisions, and upcoming events. You can also check out the City Minute updates on YouTube and social channels. So lots of ways to stay connected.
Lots of ways. And of course, we want to hear from you.
That's great.
Absolutely. If you have questions, topic ideas, or someone you'd like us to interview, send us an email at behindthespires@cityoffrederickmd.gov.
That's behindthespires@cityoffrederickmd.gov.
behindthespires@cityoffrederickmd.gov. And if you enjoyed the show, remember to like and subscribe on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and YouTube.
That's right. And before we dip back behind the spires, we ask a tiny favor. Tell a friend about the podcast. And if you get a chance, leave us a quick 5-star review right in your podcast app. It helps more people discover the show.
So thanks for spending some time with us today, and we'll see you next time on
Behind the Spires.
Yeah. And remember, kindness costs us nothing, but it means everything.
Bye, guys.